to braid, make sure you've already gone to the bathroom because you've got to finish the braid.
Welcome everybody to Peace in the Valley. Angel has a great video today on how to process garlic.
So it says braid. If I remember correctly last year, I did 3 and 3. So we're gonna braid, and you guys have probably been doing your research if you're wanting to braid garlic, so you've probably seen other people do it better than me and have bigger and prettier bulbs than me, but they all eat the same, so it doesn't matter. You take 3, and you're gonna need, I'm gonna use my strongest one. That one's pretty strong. So now you need to anchor it. So I think last year I used rubber band, but you can use rubber band and tie around here, and then you can just start, or what you do is you wrap this around. So you're gonna take your right one, wrap it around the other 2, around, and then come up through those first 2 to kind of make like a knot. So you've got your knot. And you want that one to be in the middle. And now we're gonna add some. This one on the left, I don't know if he's gonna make it. Doesn't look too healthy. So then you put another one down, and he goes in the middle. And then just like you're braiding, right over the middle and switch sides. And then you just keep adding, and you just keep alternating. I'm putting this on this side to try to keep it, and then that one you added is right in the middle. So now we're taking our left one over, and he's in the middle. Now we're going to add one to the right side, but his stalk goes in the middle with that one. Now we got our right goes to the middle. Once you get it going, it starts to look really cool. The trick is just to remember that the one that you add, that stem always goes to the middle, whichever side you're doing. And I'm forgetting that I want to save some of my bigger ones to plant, so I gotta pay attention. Left side needs to go in. I was really sad that some of my bulbs didn't get very big this year, but it looks like it's going to be okay. Like I said before, they're still edible, even if they're little. But I will be researching on soil composition, and if there's anything to the whole rotating crops theory. Apparently that's a very highly contested thought on whether you should rotate your crops versus not rotate your crops and just amend your soil. Talked to some, around our area, we talked to some old timers, and they claim they planted the same thing in the same spot for 20 years. I'm like, okay, wow. And they have very beautiful gardens. So I need to do the left side. That's the trick with braiding, especially when you do it slowly and you're adding things, is sometimes I forget which side I'm on. I remember when I was learning how to French braid. I can't French braid my own hair, by the way. But And when you add the new garlic, you just kind of find the empty spot and you try to alternate it. And sometimes that works pretty good, but sometimes just the shape of the bulb and you gotta put it on the same side. The trick is just to always remember that one that you add, you put its stem in the middle strand. And sometimes, like, I'm putting that one right in the middle because there's a little gap there, so that's where he's supposed to go. Make sure. And they do start to get tangled as you're going down because they're getting bigger and bigger. And that's okay. And sometimes those little ones, I think I'm going to put two together. Because, see, they're kind of little. See how tiny those guys are? I mean, that's going to be like one recipe right there. That might be a half a recipe, depending on what I'm making. But you'll put two in there, and that just kind of gives dimension to your braid, and it looks pretty cool. I've been collecting seeds and harvesting my herbs, and I've got a lot of extra. So I am thinking about my dreams has always been to have my own herb shop, my own bakery, my just own wellness shop where we're not perfect, we're not health professionals, but we are using the land that God gave us to be the best stewards we can be. Hence, the Healing Hearth is what I have named it. So, people who live in the Northwest Ohio area who are watching this, be looking for that. We'll have homegrown seeds that are organically grown, organically harvested, and not necessarily wild crafted, but if anybody's ever seen my gardens, they're pretty wild. So if you're local, even if you're not, drop a comment below, and if you're interested in my stock that I have, and I will give you my inventory list. I need a big one. There's a couple of them over here because my braid's starting to curl and get lopsided. Put 3 together. So I can. And the key too is just make sure that they kind of stay tight. Like when you start a braid, make sure you've already gone to the bathroom because you've got to finish the braid. It's just you gotta finish the braid, then you can pee. And you make it as long as you want. Like I'm starting to get pretty bushy, but I'm gonna try and get another dozen or 2 on here so that way it'll hang nice. And I hang mine, again, I think I said this already, I hang them in the basement. I've got some 100-year-old nails in the rafters that they're randomly placed. So you go down in that back room and you just see garlic braids hanging, which Julia took one with her when she moved. She's like, can I have one of those? I'm like, sure, you can have one of those. Because when she moved, I had just harvested all of this. So I said, yeah, I gotta move some of this because I'll be doing more here soon. But I won't bore you with the rest. We will. I'll show you what it looks like when I get done. I'll show you how we end it. Okay, so I decided that this is how long I want this first braid. So when you're done doing that, then you just take your braid and just like hair, you braid your stems all the way down so you have some place to hang it. Because that's what I do is I just push the string through the nail. Not sure where that one was. This one is loose, I think. So I've got my braid here. And then I'm gonna take and I'm gonna make a knot. So much fun. I remember when I was a little kid, my mom and I went to a garage sale and we found a book about how to braid. That was the fun. I think we might have had two. Maybe there's two of one. And we had so much fun learning all the different kind of braids. So here we go. Braid, knot, garlic braid. I don't even know what kind of soft neck this is. Actually, these were ones that I had gotten from Costco. You know, you buy those big bags. And I decided, why can't I plant these? So I did. And maybe that's why they're small. I don't know. Like I said, they're smaller than last year. We'll figure it out. If you guys have any answers or questions or critiques, put them in the comments. This is our 4th year growing garlic and my 1st year growing hardneck garlic. I harvested the garlic in mid-August. I think it was the, let's see, probably the 9th or 10th. August or July, excuse me. And then I put it on a screen in my basement because I wanted it to be out of the weather, have a little bit of humidity control. In the back room I keep dark all the time unless I'm doing laundry, and then it's just on for a few minutes. So I don't claim to be an expert on how to do this at all. I just wanted to show you my limited experience. So I've got both of my baskets separated. This was my soft neck. And I don't know if you can see it. This is my hard neck. My hard neck definitely got bigger than my soft neck. And the way you preserve the two are different. Or can be different, I guess. You can do them both the same way if you want. After they sit for 2 weeks to cure, they will get nice and papery, just like the ones you see in the store, which is super cool. And then you trim all the whiskers off of the roots at the bottom. And I'm just using kitchen shears for that because it works. So I'm going to do that to both baskets, and I'm keeping them separate because I'm going to show you how I braid the soft necks, because I did that last year and it was so much fun. It was like a crafting evening. It was amazingly fun. And you try to get as much dirt off as you can. You don't have to be perfect because you're gonna, you're gonna peel them and prep them when you use them to eat anyway. So But mine had, the area where I put my garlic is a lot of clay, so the dirt likes to stick. It doesn't come off very well. But when you pick them, they say to just shake the dirt off, don't wash them. That's what I have gleaned. And if you're watching this and you know more than me and you say that's wrong, just let me know. But I'm just going by what I have read and what I did. Now last year was the first year, like I said, that I braided my soft neck. And the year before that, all I did was top the greens on the ends and put them in baskets and put them in the basement. And I have a small basket that I keep upstairs in the kitchen. But we don't have central air in our house, and we have gas wall heaters for the winter, so humidity control is not the best in our house. In the basement, we have air purifiers and dehumidifiers, so it stays a little more temperature controlled down there. And there's bees swarming all around me. Today the temperature is like 85 degrees and like 85% humidity. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm sitting here. I'm just sitting, and yet I'm glistening with sweat. And that noise you hear off in the distance is Bryce working on our patio. He's putting like a picnic covering, like a roof. I don't know what the appropriate term is. Putting a roof over it, so we have a covered patio. And that has been a long haul, just because life is so hectic and busy. I don't know if any of you watching are small business owners, but if you want to have a hobby, boy oh boy, you gotta really have some time management skills, you know what I mean? And also the other thing, when you do your garlic, whether it's the soft neck or the hard neck, sometimes when you dig it up, well, let's see if I can find one. Yeah, right here. I don't know if you can see that. The skins kind of are not covered on it. And so they say these won't preserve as long. So have these separate. I've got about 4 or 5 of them so far. And I'll just use these first because they're still good. They're not, I got one that I mixed, so there's no rot. And truthfully, I'm one of those people that I just trim off the rot and use the rest, because why not? It doesn't kill you, makes you stronger, right? And as I go through these soft necks too, I'm going to save a few of my biggest bulbs, like as I go and sort them to braid in a few minutes. The bigger bulbs I am going to save probably, I don't know, 4 to 6 of them to plant next year, because I'm conditioning my garlic that I want large ones. Now this year, my soft neck was quite a bit smaller than last year, and I'm not sure why, except for that's the 3rd year in a row that I've planted it in the same place. So that is something I'm going to have to contemplate this summer before I decide to plant this fall. And best practice for planting garlic is to plant as you approach the first frost. I usually try to do it before Halloween, before Halloween and before Thanksgiving. Before Thanksgiving, or Thanksgiving's a little late, but as long as the ground's not frozen solid and you get it planted in the ground far enough and you get a deep enough can't tell if this is a hard neck or soft neck. It feels kind of stiff, but I don't see remnants of a escape, unless that's it. I don't know. I'll try it. Seems pretty soft. What was I saying? I forget. So yeah, so I'll decide where to plant this next year, if I'm going to find a new spot, which I could. I had 2 spaces that I did the garlic this year, and the one spot was its first year, and I need to put some stuff on that soil. I was going to plant my summer, fall planting of cabbage there, but I think I'm going to do my cabbage in the raised bed. I'm going to pull out my broccoli because it's getting ready to bolt. No, my broccoli hasn't bolted yet. It hasn't. Now I haven't gotten big heads. All I got were some little flowerets, but I got enough that we had a meal. We had a meal, and then I added 1 meal of just a side dish of broccoli, and then another meal where I made a mixed vegetable stir fry with peppers, onions, carrots, and broccoli, and I don't know what else. I forget. Some scapes that I still have. But yeah, all the noise Bryce is making, I don't know if he's going to show you a video of that, but he should, because that has been a big learning experience for us. And experiment, and he's just not sure how it's going to, if it's going to stay up. And that might just be my skepticism. I'm a pretty skeptic person. And sometimes you get some where they're not hard anymore. Like it's, I don't know if you can tell when I push on it, there's a little bit, but there's also some puffiness. So I'm going to save that one out and use that one first, see if I've got any usable clothes in there. So with the hard neck, same thing. If you trim the hairs off, and then you just cut them off. And then I am using an egg basket, since I can't have chickens in the village. I gotta use this cool little basket for something, and it's all mesh, so it's good airflow. And again, I'll keep it stored in my basement, same place where I keep my onions and potatoes, because I get that little bit of temperature control that I don't get in the rest of my house, which I don't mind. Our house was built in the mid-1800s, and I like that historical feel. Slowly been updating everything in the house. All the electrical's been updated now, and we have taken out pretty much all drop ceilings, except for there's a little like entryway in front of our bathroom that still has one. It's a really weird space, but so that still has a drop ceiling, and then there is one in our entry between our back door, the exterior back door, and then the inner back door. We have like just a little step in where the basement entrance is. You can get rid of like the loose falling off stuff. And, yeah, it looks just like a clove of garlic that you buy at the store. It's cool. And I did buy these hardnecks. I bought them from Baker's Heirloom Seeds, I think is the name. See, that one's open right there. So I'm going to keep this one separate with my other ones and use this one first. Because it looks like I might have nicked it with the shovel when I dug up. And these are a Russian red, actually, what I got. I think, anyway. I'll have to look at my order again, but I'm pretty sure underneath this outer, they will have a red skin also. And then, of course, all these leftover things, I will, their stems, I will compost. We made one of those compost bins, the 2-bay compost bins with, you should be able to see it right behind me maybe. I'm not sure if the angle of the camera is right, but it's basically right behind me, and it's using the pallets. We get lots of leftover pallets sometimes from our business when we get paper drop-offs or other kind of equipment drop-offs. And so we had some. We had a double-size one. I think Bryce might have found that from somebody. I can't remember, but I said, hey, can we make one of those compost bins? He's like, sure. So I told him what size I wanted, and he helped me screw the sides together, and voila. And it's only caught on fire once, and that's because he backed the mower into it. Don't do that. We have it pretty close to the property line. And that could be bad. It's a nice looking one too. Oh, that one almost feels like it wasn't cured yet. That was hard to cut through. Now this one you can see that the purple, that's where its namesake, red, purple, I guess. Those are intermittent in the gardening world, I've noticed. When they say something's red, kind of purplish sometimes. Especially in, like onions. They say they're red onions, but I don't know. Their skins, because I've got some growing. And their skins just kind of look purplish to me. I'm kind of sad that I didn't try to plant corn this year. Because I really do. I mean, I don't like a lot of corn, but it just seems like it's a fun summer thing to do. So next year I will definitely plant sweet corn. I went to a workshop, a Women in Ag workshop, sponsored by the OSU Extension Office. And they did a seed swap. I think it was in May. Okay, maybe June. I think it was May. And I brought my loofah seeds and my sunflower seeds, and what else did I bring? Green bean seeds, because I had tons of them. So I brought those, and somebody brought Indian corn. And when I got up there, I was just letting everybody else get some, because I'm like, I pretty much have everything I want. But then I was getting up there to collect my seeds to get ready to go, and there was one more packet of Indian corn, colored Indian corn. And there were 6 seeds in there. I'm like, So I planted them. And I do have, no, there's more than 6. no, 6 or 8. And they all came up. And they were growing in the back. I tried to do a Three Sisters little bed, and I had summer squash and zucchini, and I put green beans, some bush beans, and then the Indian corn. Well, the squash borers claimed my squash plants. I think I got 1.5 summer squash out of there. And from that patch, I think I got 1 or 2 zucchini. But the Indian corn is still growing strong. So is the green beans. So that's gonna be that's a fun little patch. I what do you call it? I made a boundary around it because it was real close to where Bryce was working on the greenhouse, right over here. And I didn't want him to step in that part, so I just kind of put that there, and I made sure I gave him a wide berth so he'd be able to get stuff around. Because I know on the one side he was really struggling to get around because the garlic was growing there, and I said, well, I planted my garlic first. So that was a fun conversation, but he was very respectful and trying not to damage any of it. And actually, it was where the hardneck was, and as you can see, I'm almost done, and there's quite a bit in here. This is going to last us a while. We use garlic in all of our dishes. I plan to use it a little medicinally this year. I think I'm going to do where you put the garlic cloves and you cover it in honey. I think I'm going to do that for some cough syrup, immune boosting stuff for this fall. Try not to get sick. I only got sick one time this last winter, and Bryce didn't get sick at all. And he eats a clove of garlic every day. So I am a believer, because he slept in the same bed with me, and I hacked, and I sneezed, and I blew my nose, and I think one day he complained that he was a little tired. So if he did get sick, that's all he got. So I am going to try that this year. I can't eat it like he does. He kind of just eats it raw. He heats it up a little bit in some tomato juice. But I struggle with indigestion and GERD type symptoms, like heartburn real bad. So I think I can do this garlic. I just do a jar of garlic cloves and fill it with honey. I've got tons of honey, raw honey that I've gotten from fellow farmers in the area. So it's local raw honey. I plan to get some again. I gotta start looking around for people who have some bees. I know honey is, especially the raw honey growers and beekeepers, have struggled this year with smaller bee farms. So I'm hoping I can get at least a gallon of honey. Okay. As long as I got them all out, I think I did. Half an egg basket of hard. I'm going to clear my space, and then I'm going to show you guys how I learned how to braid my soft neck.